Some of my favorite sounds growing up was, well, one that you don't hear now too much, the sonic boom, the sound of a supersonic jet going over. That was a sound that, I guess when I was a kid, they weren't so worried about the sonic boom and the effects on people and the annoyance and stuff. And the military would train in our area, so you'd hear this quite a lot. And that and lawnmowers. You know, being in the summer in a garden and people are mowing their lawns in several different lawns in the area. That was one of the most influential sounds to me, really. The phase shift and the interaction between the different tones. But I always like things like washing machines and things that just have a certain sound quality to them, and sound quality to them, and sound quality to them, sound quality to them, and sound quality to them, and sound quality to them, sound quality to them. And partly modular synthesizers and partly synthesis in general, additive synthesis as well as subtractive synthesis, FM synthesis, all different types. All, of course, are totally interrelate, and what they have mostly in common is things like the harmonic series and things like this, which Delia Derbyshire is the person who I learned most about the properties of sound, the way that sounds work, the theory that you can create any sound from an array of sine tones, harmonics. If you can modulate each of these sine tones and harmonics in the right way, in theory, you can replicate any sound.
I read something about it. Panda Bear was saying that you are the kind of guy that listens to a sound and then can recreate it in the synthesizer. It's true?
Ah, wow. Phew. Sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes. Yeah, that's what I try to do. Usually for sounds, if you have an idea of something that you're trying to get and you understand the way synthesis works, it's not that hard to translate it. I think maybe it's something that I learned from Delia Derbyshire from the Radiophonic Workshop.
Yeah. You knew her? You worked with her?
I knew her, and at the end of her life, she was living kind of as a hermit. Actually, I think she lived as a hermit most of her life.
Yeah.
But at the end of her life, she was living as a reclusive hermit, a totally reclusive hermit. And I found her somehow. Different stories. No one really remembers exactly how. But she taught me pretty much everything I know about. Not so much synthesis. I had a fair grounding in that, but in the basis of sound and the way that sound is constructed and the way the harmonic series works. And I guess she was really, one of her big things was mathematics within music, and the patterns. And the other thing with manuals is now a lot of people don't give you a manual, it's just online.
Yeah.
And I learned...
Even Pro Tools is online.
It's what I read in the bathroom in the morning, it's, I read manuals for things that I have new, and I read them inside out. If I can, I'll even get the manual before I buy the thing and start reading it.
makes a lot of difference.
Yeah.
You can't do that with a computer. Another reason why I really like the modular synths is you can create sounds with them for which there is no pre-existing mind picture. If I play a piano or a guitar, immediately there's this mind picture of the instrument because we know what it is. We recognize that sound. But with a synthesizer, you can create atmospheres and you can create sounds where all you can do is wonder what the hell could possibly create sound like that, you know. It's impossible to think it's a box with a load of lights and knobs on it, you know. They have, I don't know, it seems you can create very organic, interesting sounds with them. F sharp, it should be a black note. That's it.
Okay. Here they are.
But what? Let's record this again. This is without the effect. It has the cow on it.
Oh, Master Luke.
But this should be constantly sending out. Let's see, what is this even? I think what it is when I started working in studios, I want to say 8 out of 10 times I would ask people to do things. They would tell me that's not what that's for, and my question would always be, will it break it? And the answer was always no. So it's what it's for. We can do that with it as long as we don't break anything. As long as we don't break anything expensive, we can do this. The brain works in a certain way where if something repeats without changing, it discounts it and says, you know this has happened. Check someone isn't trying to sneak up on you from behind, or, you know, this sort of thing. So I think the survival instinct has a real effect on the way that we hear sound. And the basic divisions of rock and roll are exact breaks of an octave. So if you have a string that long and you bridge it halfway and make it half as long, it's twice the frequency. If you bridge it a third of the way, I think that's the fifth. So these relationships, these divisions of this whole are exactly the same divisions that are used in classical architecture to build rooms. So for example, whatever the length is, a third of the length would be the height. Half of the length, or half might be the width. So I forget the exact correlation, and I'm not really interested particularly in following the semantics of it, but they're absolutely related. You know, music is totally mathematically describable.